Good morning, Brock. Okay, I thank you for your email, and I think this is probably what you might want to try. What I've got here is a constraint to some geometry at the back there, so it's pulling back. I think that's what you meant. And the way this is done is to use a curve, and the curve is used to drive the geometry. The geometry is extruded along that curve, so you'd select your curve and get a cube and extrude it using the curve to create the geometry. So on one hand I've done that, and with the curves themselves, these are the curves which are driving that piece of geometry. They themselves are then driven by some joints. So I've got just 3 simple joints, which you select all 3 joints for each of the curves and skin them. So now when the joints move, the curve moves with it. And one thing in particular that you need to be careful of is that when you do skin the curve to the joints, and it's got priority over there, when you do that, it's important to just hop into your component editor, and make sure that the weight on those 2 vertices on the last joint, which is joint 3 in this case, it would be joint 6 and the other one, adds up to a total 1. So you'll see for other ones where they've got blended weights, that they've got different weights for the different joints along here, you would just go through here and just type in 1, and not for that one obviously, but for those other ones, that's what you do to make sure that the end joint and the geometry stays fixed there, so you've got a predictable thing. And the last thing I've done is I've got some IK handles. So let's just show all now. There's some IK handles with some animation on. So the IK handles move. When the IK handles move, it moves the joints move the curve moves the geometry. That's the setup for the controls. With the cape itself, all I've done is just hide everything else except for your polygons. All I've done with that one is I've selected a vertex here, and some vertices on the end of this curve, the vertices on the end of that one, and created another constraint. So I'd select vertex, 2 vertices in the end, go into end constraint, and say component to component. And an important thing as well is I've added the strength to something quite large, just to make sure that they look like they're completely pinned. And the last thing that I did as well was I made sure that my nucleus was facing downwards, so even though it's going backwards, that's one thing you can add there, going down, and also increase the wind speed, and maybe you could increase the noise to make it look like that's the fan blowing off screen. And the result is, let's just show you just polygons. And of course we've still got the high-res cape, which we can use with the Raptor format from before. So I'll hide that one. And there you go. Okay, so that's constrained to the 2 different objects. And what I would do there, if you wanted to have something, obviously it's not connecting exactly, but that's just more to do with my positioning of my geometry than anything else. But we do have a cape which looks pretty 1950s to me. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you around, Matty. Take care, bye.